Hey beautiful people, welcome to the 5th Annual Art Hills Festival, a multifaceted art festival honoring World AIDS Day and bringing awareness to any HIV and mental health stigma. This year's festival includes the 8th Annual Black Awards, where we honor local Black and queer contributions to the community. The Art Hills Festival includes our very first Elevation Dinner and virtual festival starring me, the one and only Raya, as your host. You see me twerking around Austin, hey! Stay tuned for some more words from WhatsintheMirror, patches by Jeaux Anderson, and New Orleans' very own Jasmine Pierre, and the Safe Place app.
The intersectionality around HIV and mental health, that is a priority for us, because I always think that we have to tackle the things that's impacting Black folks at alarming rates, or just, where that disparity comes in. A disease like HIV has become the Black man's problem, the Black woman's problem, the Black queer problem, the Black trans problem. And again, we have HIV prevention, right? But we have to focus on where that intersectionality lies. Are we providing the necessary resources and tools once people get into HIV care? Do they have access to a therapy when someone finds out their status? Are they homeless? All of these different questions around all these different disparities. And I know for me, I have been doing this work for a while, and as a Black queer man, advocated through our community, I came across a lot of people, the Black queer community, and one of the things that we wasn't talking about was HIV in relations to mental health. And I think we always look at it as this separate thing, but I think you can't have this idea of getting to zero with zero new infections, zero deaths, without talking about mental health. That's what we've been focused on in 2020 with our Art Hills project, with this Art Hills Festival. And it's important work. It's important work, and what I realized is that it's a lot of people doing the work across the country. And so my mentality is to localize a lot of the work being done. Having those conversations outside of the institutions. We're having it in the communities. We're having it with artists. We're having it with the people that's most impacted, but not necessarily the people sitting at the tables.
I guess I would assume it's the average amount of mental health issues that basically any other American will face, or just normal. For me, just daily stresses, daily microaggressions, the daily questions of who am I, where do I belong here, how important am I truly representing my best self, how are my relationships? I've had stresses in relationships, I've had stresses on the job.
Just because you may be going through something right at this moment does not mean that's the end of your story.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Pierre, and I am the creator of the Safe Place app. The name of this class is called Art Exposing Psych Racism. In this class, you'll learn how racism and psychology has impacted Black people throughout American history. I'll be teaching you through facts, art, and storytelling. Let's begin. Let's describe the painting Drapetomania. So the painting is red. It has black and white words. Some of the words say whip, slave, toes, devil, run, runaway. In the very middle, you can see the word Black folks and something that looks like a bullseye. So let's talk more about what drapetomania is. In 1851, an American physician by the name of Samuel A. Cartwright created drapetomania, a mental illness created for any Black person who wanted to run away during slavery. Drapetomania was first published in the New Orleans Medical and Surgical Journal. It was also delivered before the Medical Association of Louisiana. The punishment for drapetomania was either the removal of both big toes so you could not run away, or they would whip the devil out of you. So how did I feel painting about drapetomania? It made me feel really shocked, angry, and sad learning the information and knowing this is how the psychology field used to operate. So how has the history of drapetomania impacted me as a Black woman navigating the mental health care system? Let's explore that. Now, as I explained earlier, one of the punishments for drapetomania was whipping the devil out of you. Now, even though drapetomania technically no longer exists, people in the Black community still believe that mental illness is just a demon. And I used to feel that way for years. Like I was just supposed to pray and read my Bible, and that was what's going to help me get through this. I remember there were times when I would go to the altar call at church, and I would go up there just so I could have the mental illness demon prayed out of me. And so I wouldn't have any more suicidal thoughts, and I would have a lot of shame when I would realize that they weren't going away, no matter how much I went to the altar, no matter how much I prayed or read my Bible. I remember growing up, there was this show called Girlfriends that I really, really loved watching. And it was about 4 Black friends. And there was an episode where one of the main characters, her name was Joan, she needed to see a therapist for something. And I remember her friend Maya saying to her, "Girl, we're Black. We do not go to therapy. We go to church." And I remember the first time I heard that joke, I thought it was funny because like, that's really what a lot of us in the Black community think. Like, we just feel like we go to church. We don't need anything else. We don't need therapy. And I never understood why we felt that way. I just knew that was something that we felt. I don't think many healthcare workers realize how deeply rooted the stigma is of mental health in the Black church and how this is linked to drapetomania. Many times church staff and preachers will blame you for not getting better with mental illness because of not praying, not reading your Bible, not coming to church enough. They're not educated on mental illness either, so it's like, it's really dangerous what drapetomania has done to my community. And we must talk about the policing aspect of drapetomania. The reason Black people would get labeled with drapetomania as a mental illness in the first place is because they were trying to escape slavery. So when they brought them back and they tortured them, this is a form of policing. And it still happens today in the modern day mental health care system, and I'll explain. Recent data has come out that show that Black people are 85% more likely to be restrained when they go to a psych ward or a mental institution. Let's talk about the next painting. This canvas is black, and the words and the numbers are colors like turquoise, yellow, green, white, purple, and pink. Let's talk about what the words and the numbers say. Black, 1700, immune, 1840. What does all of this mean? Basically, from 1700 to 1840, the psychology field believed that Black people were actually immune to mental illness. So let's talk about the next painting. The base of this painting is pink. Some of the word colors are turquoise, purple, and black. So what do the words say? Lazy is painted all over the canvas. Dysesthesia Athiopaka is painted in the middle. What does that word mean? Dysesthesia Athiopaka was created by Samuel A. Cartwright. This was an alleged mental illness that was the proposed cause of laziness, rascality, which means mischievous or dishonest behavior or activity, and disrespect for the master's property among slaves. Cartwright claimed that this disorder was characterized by symptoms of lesions or insensitivity of the skin.
Did you know that the Art Hills Festival was created 5 years ago in 2020 during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic? It was virtual and it streamed for 3 days across Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. It was a scary time for a lot of us. And What's in the Mirror wanted to do its part and join other community organizations and provide a virtual space. Goals then and now include providing an inclusive and impactful platform that engages the community around social justice topics throughout artistic expression. Exploring how art can be used as a mechanism to heal and restore vibrant ways of living. Hold brave spaces for meaningful involvement of people living with HIV and mental health conditions and those of gender identities and other body types.
They be like, yo, what the fuck is it gonna take to get rid of this bitch? You can't get rid of me, bitch. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going no fucking where.
I'm a fantasy, your reality. Click, 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 do what I please. Hit me with my sidekick, never been a side chick. Always been a white fee, never been a safe bitch. Oh, it's a princess ting. The age of 14, I was wearing rings, making Zanga things with my Dell PC. Memorizing codes is so amazing. HTML in my sleep, binary codes. Breakfast I eat, porn, sexy girls are the dreams that I dream. And this is the life of 2014. Invisible page of the MySpace age. Hooked on for hours, place for place. Digital rage, it's my digital state. Digital junk, go page for page. Confessions of a cyber girl, escaping out the matrix world. It's a war and I wanna let me live the life I did in the beginning. Confessions of a cyber girl, escaping out the matrix world. It's a war and I wanna let me live the life I did in the beginning. Let me live the life I did in the beginning. Let me live the life I did in the beginning. Let me live the life I did in the beginning. Let me live the life I did in the beginning. Let me live the life I did in the beginning. Let me live the life I did in the beginning. Girl, a fucking weirdo, awkward in the club and always in your earlobe. Read my books and I don't do drugs. Like a mother's love, I'm selling the stuff. Thinking too much and I live in the matrix. Understand the truth and I see different faces. Dimensions that ain't even mentioned. I can read the space anytime, no question. If I try hard, I can move with my mind. Gonna meditate until I gravitate. Get my little state into a higher place. Still a fuck up and I think it's true. I'm still a little brat saying, don't tell me what to do. Oh, this is just my life and what you went through, I've been through it twice. I'm still doing nice. I do the damn statistic. Within my all, it's a gamble, I'ma risk it. Within my all, it's a gamble, I'ma risk it. Confessions of a cyber girl, escaping out the matrix world. It's a war and I wanna let me live the life I did in the beginning. Confessions of a cyber girl, escaping out the matrix world. It's a war
As an artist and a community activist, I want to stress to y'all the importance of self-preservation and self-care. We can't continue to fight if we are not well. We must rest. These are some complicated times right now, and policies are being created to ban books across the nation, strip the rights of women to make choices about their bodies, eradication of affirmative action, and protections of trans children and adults from local, state, and federal jurisdiction. The results of the latest presidential election can't break us. When ready, or if at all, let this election wake us. Wake us to new ideas, new visions, and new growth to show up for our community. We do not have to be okay with the genocide of any group of people across any nation.
Thank you. I used to not be able to dream. I didn't see myself the same way that my friends did. The confident girl, bold and brave. Often, I felt as ugly as the words that the world would call me. The truth is, I felt I would grow up alone. My love will be reserved for the culture, the community, never a companion. See, I was the big girl, the he's just too femme girl, the maybe he's just a friend girl. I don't see him a sexual way type girl. I don't like him like that girl. It didn't help that I grew up in an era of don't ask, don't tell. Closets were still our closest friend. Marriage equality was not the norm. Black queerness wasn't seen on TV, and it was very much so still taboo to talk about being gay at the dinner table. So for me, the dreams never came. I was never able to dream in fairy tales and fantasies because I lived in fuckery. Until I met Kelvin. And while he wasn't that great as a date, it was that he made me dream in color and see in rhyme. He made me feel confident in my body in ways I never heard before. With him, I wasn't the fat faggot. He made me feel sexy. He made me feel cute. He made me feel wanted and loved. But the secrecy of our romance got to me, and then there was Najee. He understood my quirkiness. He helped me heal. He listened to me. He told me that my emotions were valid, and I felt his concern. But he wasn't ready for the type of love that I wanted. After that, there was Colton. I mean, I could talk to that man all day. He showed me that your partner could truly be your best friend. I mean, we had the best times together. It was nice to have a love that felt so public. And while he supported me, he stunted my growth. I was so focused on him and us that I forgot about me. And lastly, there was Houston. I mean, that nigga had God-like dick. I felt the stars and sun type dick. Felt like I was having an exorcism from that demon dick. Like he helped me patch together my little quilt of love type dick. Like he told me that we could fuck together 4 times in one night, then start back moaning from back shots in the morning type dick. But I could never be more than a memory of a great weekend with him. Until I met him. I saw stars. I saw the moon. I saw possibilities and potentials. Maybe even kids. Okay, I'm lying, there would be no kids. The only kids that we would have would be spread between our stomachs. With him, I felt alive. I felt heard. I felt sexy. I felt bomb motherfucking pussy. With him, I finally understood what daydreams felt like. Thank y'all so much. So I cannot really see anyone but these beautiful faces up here. I want you to know this is not a regular poetry show. I want you to be loud. I want you to laugh. I want you to feel all of your emotions, okay? Okay. You know, this is a call and response type thing. It's like church in a way, but it's not church. It's very affirming in this space. So I want, okay? Yes, ma'am. Oh my gosh. And y'all look gorgeous, by the way. Somebody gonna get it when they leave, I know. I wanna welcome y'all to Patches, a black gay man's journey to the moon. This body of work means so much to me, and before we get into the show, I have to thank the Carver for bringing me back. Carrie, you are phenomenal. The work that you're doing here is incredible and it's vital to our community. So thank you for your leadership, your stewardness, and thank you for every fucking thing you do. If you have not noticed, I curse a little bit. I hope that's okay. There's another piece that's coming later. Girl, if you are taboo, if you don't like to talk about body parts, just use that as your bathroom break, okay? I want to tell you, and obviously I have not memorized these pieces yet. I can do that in October. But girl, we're gonna keep it moving, okay? Okay? Oh, that felt so good. Okay, I want to tell you the story of how my dream turned into reality, right? How a big-bodied, big-boned, black gay boy fell in love in a very white city. How I looked in this man's eyes and saw my future. How I patched together from memories and magic a man that I grew to love. So welcome to Patches again. But before we get to that special day of no plans, just vibes, I want to tell you how we met. I'm trying to be cool, but around you, I have a nervous energy and don't really know what to say or how to say it. It feels like butterflies in my belly and fireflies in my heart. I just laugh awkwardly and giggle like I took 2 puffs from a blunt and nod my head in agreement when honestly, I don't know what you just said. I barely heard what you said and my body is here on earth, but it seems like your mouth is taking me to the moon. And the only thing I can focus on is your lips saying, oh. And then I started thinking about that perfect oh and moans and groans of me and you saying, oh. What were we talking about? Oh. The usually cool exterior I have is nothing more than a facade that seems to melt away with every syllable you speak. It's like you're undressing me with your mouth and your lips continue to make that oh. Gravity ain't bringing me down, so I must be floating in the galaxy of your aura. You're the first guy in the wild that I know that's like, your smile gives me goosebumps, like I get giddy like grade school, like I'm feeling slightly out of practice, out of my element, like where is the Joe that keeps kissing niggas in the club? Give me that Joe's confidence and swag and style, because the one standing in front of you is awkward, unsure, and low-key. I don't know why you see what you see in me, why you would even look my way. I wish I could look at me through your eyes to see the version of me that intrigues you. Maybe I can take some notes and see the beauty from your eyes. I have high hopes for what could be, but my heart and mind are in lockstep telling me the only thing of what is. For a brief moment, I think of the bravado my other friends have. How can I take all the elements that they have? How can I step in their shoes and feel so magical? But I can't. It's just you and me. And as I come crashing back down to earth, I realize a whole bunch of strangers are around us waiting to finish this silent disco between us. I can't help but smile at the thought of me and you under moon's light talking and vibing and just being, only to realize that isn't my story. Guys like me don't get the fairy tale ending. And those of us that do get to grasp on our friend named love are few and far in between. I'm an optimist that eternally thinks the worst will happen. It's like God gave me the worst of both worlds, where I see the possibilities and feel the pain of the reality. My visions of love have few victories. The scars I wear are of survival. I went to battle with love and won and lost at the same time. Anything else for you, Joe? And there your fucking lips go again. Sending me back into his tailspin, I drop my wallet. Oh no, I say, embarrassed, humble, horny at the same time. I gotta go, but thank you for taking me to the moon. Thank you. So yeah, I met the nigga at Starbucks. And you best believe I got free coffee every time I went in. My sandwich was ready for me. The bacon was extra crispy because I like it that way. I know some of you didn't know you could do that, but yes, my man did. He also introduced me to the cheese danishes. I did not know it was cream cheese, so when he offered it, I said, what? Shredded cheese on bread? Okay, sure. Eventually, that interaction between us turned into jokes at the register, which turned into, let me take a 5 to talk to you real quick, which turned into, what's your number? Which turned to, I'm taking the trip, I'm gonna bring you back a gift. Which turned into, what you doing this Saturday? I don't know, I said. What am I doing? Why don't you meet up with me, he told me. A day of no plans, just vibes. And while we were standing in line off Riverside at a taco shop. Come on, Riverside, yes. Girl, you already know, bitch. You already know. Told y'all it's a call and response type thing, okay? I can't see you, but I can hear you and I can feel your energy over here, all right? So yes, we was on Riverside getting some tacos. Now the spot has closed down, so please don't ask me. I didn't know the name of it. I just knew the taco shop, you know? But anyway, okay, back to the story, okay. So we was in line and then he asked me, so, tell me about the cliff. The cliff raised me, and while Austin may pay me, the cliff made me. Poured into me my purpose, made me stronger and more skilled in my soul. My heart was too big to let the bullies beat, batter, and break my spirit. The cliff saved me. Taught me to be tough and to take the hate that would come in the form of foes, friends, and family. I grew up at the intersection of Wheatland and Willoughby, protected by the dealers they demonize on TV. Surrounded by aunties and uncles that weren't my aunties or uncles, but had the explicit permission to snatch my ass up like they were my aunties and uncles. The cliff, where we had cookouts in our complex as kids played red light, green light, Simon Says, and hide and seek before we knew about the evils of the world. I had my first kiss in the cliff, and his name was Cameron. And we always played house before we knew what playing house really was. I remember not knowing we weren't supposed to do it, but that kiss felt natural to me. It felt right. I grew up in the cliff where Linda did not cook on Fridays. That was reserved for a trip to Blockbuster Video, Be Kind, Rewind. And Pizza Hut was definitely mandatory. My mom had to go pick it up because delivery in our zip code was not an option. I wonder why. But sometimes we go down the street to Paula's food truck, and my mom would say that we could get what we wanted. Now, I don't know if Paula had a license, probably not, but the food was bomb pussy. The cliff, where we stayed down the street from what they called white boy land, which I later realized could have just been another name for gentrification. I had my first girlfriend in the cliff. Her last name was Cooper, and we was definitely hanging tough for a few months. And we got together because we were in this play where I was the evil twin of Santa and she was Mrs. Claus. And please, give me a round of applause for being able to play straight. The cliff, where gangbangers with grills and goatees was the greatest. Slabs could mean ribs or rides. Saturdays were never lazy, but consisted of all-day Little League football games. The cliff, where washers and dryers in the apartment were a luxury, and we had to walk to the laundromat before Nivea made it cool. The cliff, what some would call the hood, was simply home for me. The cliff made me. The cliff raised me. The cliff is all I fucking knew. That's my hood. It seemed, after eating our tacos off Riverside, I started to open up a little bit more to him, telling this man about my time at Oak Cliff. The funny thing is, everyone talks real bad about Oak Cliff. Everyone thinks it's this really horrible place, but for me, it's really home. And I felt really affirmed in my blackness from a very young age. I grew up with nothing but black people in my neighborhood. My schools was all black. My teachers was all black, except Miss Fugely in my junior year in high school. She was a white woman that told me I could curse in my poems, and I was like, I fuck with you, Miss Fugely. But the one thing I did not understand was why I was so different. You know? I understood my blackness, but I never got a grasp on my queerness. And there was some shit that happened in my household that I was just like, is this normal, you know? I'm gonna stop really quickly for a moment. This poem is kind of emotional, so just give me a little bit of grace right now. It's called Fire Trucks. While some kids in elementary school were worried about cartoons and cereal, my experience was worrying about the woman that gave birth to me. I had to be in kindergarten when I saw my mom and my stepdad for the first time have an altercation. Now, I don't know what started it, and I can't remember how it ended, but that moment is burned in my memory. Them arguing, me hiding under covers, them arguing some more, voices getting louder and louder, culminating with them in the kitchen and me grabbing a toy fire truck to try and stop my stepdad from arguing with my mom. I guess in a way, it was a day of celebration, since it seemed my brother was crowned as the man of the house that day. Imagine that, no older than 12, but having to defend your mom and your little brother from an adult man. He was promoted to protector that day, when someone should have been protecting him. And while punches were never thrown, the scars of shouting were enough to leave scabs on my mental for the rest of my life. I don't think I ever healed properly from that day. Throw in the fact that my own father was a fuck up, combined with the way that the kids in school would treat me, my impression of black men was less than ideal. They were, in my mind, manic and menacing. If I'm being honest, it's taken a long time to really feel comfortable around straight black men. I didn't know how much this fucked me up until I started loving black men. And I refused to blame my mom, because she had her own struggles with how to love black men as a black woman who weren't properly healed from their own trauma. How can both of us love those who continually disrespect us? And here I am as an adult man, an adult black man, loving black men that grow up with stunted sensibilities, and I am one of them. I love the liars, crave the cocky ones, run after the ones that show rampant disrespect. The demons and the devils are the ones I seem to truly desire. It's like I'm chasing my dad's love all over. And I'm tired, because I feel like a gerbil in the wheel, just going around in circles and circles trying to break the curse placed on my generation. Who knew the legacy and lineage of love would leave me like this? I'm tired of fighting my family's cycles of abuse and pain, but I continue to perpetuate patriarchy. It's hard to focus on healing when you refuse to acknowledge the depths of your own hurt. So I seem to pick fights with you, seek validation from you, ask you for constant praise and reassurance. I ignore the flags red for the devil you are, because in my eyes, love is painful. It's what Joe learned when he picked up that fire truck that day. I'm broken on my best day and shattered on my worst. I crave chaos. The truth is, I'm the villain in my own story, because I don't see value in myself. I dance with darkness because I'm too ashamed to lay in my light. I wish I could show baby Joe that he is light, and that he didn't have to worry about picking up fire trucks. I wasn't able to do that poem when my mom and my brother came. Even though my mom really wanted me to do it, I told her, just seeing their faces right here in the audience, it was just a lot for me. And even doing this in front of people like tonight is a lot. But I think it's important. I think it's important that we talk about the pain of growing up as a 90s kid, early 2000s kid, and not having anyone who understood what it was like to grow up black, queer, femme, othered, and how our families did not have the tools to give us what we needed. And it's not their fault, and it's not ours either, but it just kind of is what it is. And I appreciate them now for learning and doing the work. And so if anyone tonight is struggling, and this is not part of the show, but if anyone is, I just want you to know, like, people can change. My mom is a living testimony. She's my biggest fan, and so thank you. So I just wanted to share that with y'all right now. Okay, let's get back to the fucking show. Instead of saying anything, we sat in silence. I felt his hand start to rub against mine. My eyes started to feel heavy, like gravity was bringing this water down from my eyes. Let's head to the next stop, he said. While we sat in the car, silence still surrounded us. I was honest, I was truthful with him, because I started to feel comfortable with him. Felt like I could tell him anything. I think Baby Joe will be proud of the man that Big Joe grew up to be, he told me. And I smiled, and I said, I think so too. So, were you out growing up, he asked. Yes. No. Girl, let's edit that out in post, okay? No. But the closet I was in had rainbow carpet with no doors. It seemed like everyone knew but me. I just kind of want y'all to vibe with this one for a little bit. Come on, snaps. The first time I saw me on TV was a black rom-com series named after a nigga from the Bible. And it didn't feature no animals, nor was there a boat, a pontoon, or a ship. Just 4 black gay men living in LA. And while the series would go on to win no Emmys, no Golden Globes, no BET Awards, it won over the hearts and minds of a culture that was alienated, marginalized, objectified. Noah's Ark stepped into my soul and filled me in ways that I don't think a poem would do justice. It felt like I was walking around, not seeing another black person, and boom, they're right in front of me. And I know, to some, that may be extreme, but I'd only grown up thinking that I was an abomination, that I was wrong for what felt so natural, that I was evil, and to see joy being radiated from these 4 beautiful black men on the TV screen, again, there are no words. It was around this time that I started seeing me for me. And maybe not the full version of me, but I started to appreciate the fullness of my lips, the wideness of this nose, my hips, dips, and all this ass, my complex complexion. And while I didn't love it, I finally saw it. Not the hiding in the closet scared of being gay me. I saw glimpses of love and I felt it. First person to see me for me was Ashley Nicole Hickson. Held my hand as I ventured out into the world, showing my little rainbow flag. Like a baby gazelle walking for the first time, there were dips in my step, but it felt good to walk in gay. Second person, Chaz Dominique Moore. And the way he wrapped his love in my love, he even offered to go to a gay club meeting with me. And while I couldn't find the courage to walk in, he told me that he was proud of me. I wish at the moment that I was proud of myself. It's funny, for someone who loves rom-coms, could watch a wedding planner at the drop of a dime, I didn't think I was worthy of love. I didn't think that was my ministry. I wasn't that girl. Part of it, I didn't think I deserved it. Another part, I was scared of loving someone so much that I would lose a version of myself. These were 2 of the first people to show me what it was like to receive love unconditionally. Like, they took me and all of my craziness and the fact that I was a Leo and said, we still love you. I wish I could have loved myself. See, the greatest goal was never to find the love of someone else. The greatest goal was to find love of self and finally understand what it was like to be Joe. So, as I'm talking with him and vibing, I realize I kind of like this guy. I kind of like this man. I kind of like this energy that we're going with. And I wanted to see what could happen from it, you know? Like, I don't know if you've ever had a moment where you're like talking to someone and you're like looking at their lips and their beautiful brown eyes and their gorgeous skin, and maybe before you start thinking about like what the sex is like, you're like, I really fuck with you. You stimulate the fuck out of me. And that's where I was in this moment. However, Joe in those moments gets very awkward. Like when I like someone, I'm like, ooh, girl, we like you. Like, we gotta stop talking. Abort mission. Like, the emotions in my brain are like, alert, alert, we like somebody. Alert, alert. And then I leave the date in my head. I start daydreaming and start thinking of what life could be like with him. Ooh, sorry I did that in the mic, girl. Still recovering from that ugly cry I did. I felt Dr. Strange when he was going through the mathematical calculations of the Avengers being Thanos' ass. Because honestly, that's what it felt like when I met you. Trying to get to the one outcome where you and me become we. And I can retire from this Joe lifestyle, which the others will be called the whole lifestyle. See, I'm ready to be booed up. I want to dabble in the streets, then go home and dabble on the dick after I'm drunk off mimosas and vodka waters. Then we can order some pasta, smoke, and watch the Housewives of Atlanta while you rub on my booty and my beard. So, I'm asking Cupid and the constellations for guidance. Show me the way to this nigga heart because I'm tired of hypotheticals. I'm past possibilities. I no longer want to dive into dreams. I'm ready to be romantic to the reality of a relationship with you. And maybe, just maybe, you see the vision. And I don't have to continue to write your name next to my name or my name next to your name, thinking that what could happen, should happen, would happen. The situation just is. You make me feel like I'm from Houston during the 94-95 season when Akeem Olajuwon played for the Houston Rockets. And no, I don't know what that means. Just know you make me feel like I'm a Houston Rocket. A nigga's just trying to be your last. I want to be the last man you kiss goodnight. I want to be the last man that you think about before bed. The last man with your last name and the last man you sit at home with and think, damn, this nigga crazy. And he's a lot. And he's still a Leo. But I love him. And that little lion his ass keeps caged up. I also want to be your first. I want to be the first man to get to places in your heart that you didn't know were possible. The first person you want to go to happy hour with and flirt with the bartender so we can get some free drinks. I want to be the first person you wake up next to and thank God for the course corrections that we made so we can actually meet. So let's skip the bullshit. Let's turn hypotheticals into realities and win this shit called life, bro. Joe? Huh? I said, girl, as I told you, I had went into my own world. Baby, I was in a rocket on the way to the moon. This fine man next to me was giving me everything I needed. Well, not everything. but we'll get to that later. I don't know if anyone has seen Insecure. Have you seen Insecure, Rachel? Like, make some noise? Okay. It's like that moment when, I think it's the first season, when Issa like looks at Lawrence and she sees that they got married, they had kids, they had a wedding, all that shit. That's so I looked at him and I saw the wedding, I saw the marriage, I saw my friends, my family there, I saw us buying a house. There still were no kids, but I saw the future, bitch. Some people might even call me Jean Grey, you know? Okay. So finally, he asked me what I was looking for. He said, what you want? A man, a boo thing, a husband. What you want? And I told him, hello? Okay, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay. Can we cut me up in a little bit? So I told him this. I just want an easy love. I'm not trying to fight every fucking day type love. I don't have to worry about you being physically unavailable, mentally unstable, emotionally ungrateful type love. I want a rhythmic love, a love that makes me want to dance from happiness type love, doing the two-step in my living room to my favorite records type love. I want a love that I don't have to second guess, worry about being less, always going through mess. I do not need a hand-me-down type love, because that's the only thing I seem to have been passed down type love. So lighten my load type love. I can't carry us both type love. This ain't footsteps love. And I know that might not seem fair, but I was carrying both of our burdens and it ain't in the cars love. Just give me heaven because I already been through hell type love. And I deserve a slice of happiness type love. And I'm not saying there won't be hard times, but in the past, that's the only thing I was dealt and felt. And I just want to be in a place where we got some ebbs and flows type love. We shouldn't be in darkness all the time type love. I want to see light love. So love, give me that wake up on the Saturday morning, cleaning up the house, watering our plants, ordering food, sipping some rosé type love. Or chilling with my friends on the rooftop, having some libations, laughing extra hard because we all hot type love. Or me and you on the couch watching the documentary because I saw it on Twitter and I wanted to see it with you type love. Love, I just want an easy love. So we left Richie's, walking across the way to Black Vinyl. And it's one of the stops that I wanted to get an older record from. I don't know if anyone has ever tried to buy a record that isn't in press anymore. Unfortunately, my budget was not allow me to get that record. If you can find Snow Allegra, those feels again, let me know, girl. That shit is like $150. That's Beyonce prices, like the concert. Sorry, Snow? Okay. So, we're in the vinyl shop, and so he said, if it's that simple, why are you still single? Now let's talk about it. You messy. So I told him, it's because I keep finding fuckboys. How you like that? See some fuckboys here. I carry the burdens of black men, like the loads they pump into me in bedrooms and back alleys. They break my back with patriarchy, bust walls down with heteronormativity, punching pain through that penis that is too small to provide any pleasure. It's simple. They throw daggers at the little faggot they wanted to spit on during the day, then ask that same dirty little slut behind bedroom doors to spit in their mouth. I'm their DL little secret, the skeleton cloaked in the closeted confines of their cockiness. I'm the one they hate to love behind locked doors. It's funny, behind those same locked doors, I love to hate myself. I guess that makes us a match made in hell. I've learned maybe by mistake, maybe from the girls around the way that pussy is power. So I give my body to those who ask, now demand to dick me down. And for a moment, more like a minute, I feel the power of this pussy. I feel the pleasure of this pussy. I control with my hips the speed and flow. I control when I want them to come. Through clenched muscles, I soothe the pain from behind their eyes. With every death drop I do on the dick, I subdue the stress that builds in black men as we buck back and forth as if I'm hitting the reverse in uno. It's a badge this pussy wears with honor. Me, the secret shame you try to wash away in the shower, is the only thing that makes semen spit from that dick of yours. It's funny, both of us use and abuse each other, treating each other like nothing more than bodies for the bust down. He may not realize it, but I am similar to him. We are mirrors of each other, trying to stroke our way out of the pain the world gives us. The only difference, I wear my badge with honor, while he hides his in shame. I see the generation of worry that's been passed down to him. I see his father and his father's burdens. See, we have the same burdens that we received from our fathers. My hips hide his secrets. My tongue gently hides his pain away. I sew patches of his penis on my ego because that's the only way I can feel love. It's a funny situation to feel the fabrics of this fantasy. I suddenly hear grunts grow louder, moans deepen, and I know what's about to happen next. So I prod him, I push him, continue to stroke his ego like I'm stroking his dick. He yells out spit, slowly coming back down to earth. And for a brief moment, we play pretend like we actually enjoyed it. See, I carry the burdens of black men. Thank you so much. I want to take y'all for a moment on the rest of the journey, if that's okay. So, around this time, I skipped this in the piece because the crying threw me off, but we also went to the farmer's market at some point. Girl, I told you, give me some grace, girl. But no, so after a day of the taco spot off Riverside, we went to the farmer's market, we went to Richie's, we went to Black Vinyl, we stopped at the Carver. And if you don't know, they're selling t-shirts and bags out front. Dawn, raise your hand, girl, raise your hand. She's in the back, I think. I hope that's Dawn waving their hand. Okay, give it up for the t-shirts and the bags, y'all. So you can see more events like this. So yes, we went to all those places. And around this time, I want you to think about like a day in March, after South by. And the weather is beautiful. You know, March is kind of perfect a little bit. You know, it's a nice little breeze. It's kind of cool. You can wear shorts with a sweater if you want to, if you're one of those people. No shade to those people. I am one of those people. We see each other. But, so we ended up at Auditorium Shores, near the water. And after going through the Juneteenth exhibit at the Carver Museum, we started talking about our families. We started talking about each other and who we grew up to be. We had a conversation at the water. That evening, the flow of the water brought my face to yours. And we spent the evening talking about stories of black people. We talked about the stories of people that we'd lost in our family. It was at the water when we pondered the people whose passions we'll never see play out. It was at the water when we reflected on the riveting, ravenous report on their lives. Their adventures were washed away and eroded not only from the banks of the bayou, but from history books as well. It was at the water when we realized the place that their narratives and novels ran out of room, and the biographies of black men, black women, black children were burned, banished, and buried. It was at the water where I was reminded of our union, both past and present. I cried that night. Tears washed over me as if I was standing outside in the rain. And it was that evening I felt I was being baptized in your blackness. Felt like our ancestors were acknowledging our potential union and bowing their heads in reverence at the recognition of the love that radiated from our refuge. I wanted to be washed in all of you, surrendering to the serenity of not only the seas, but of your soul. That night at the water, I felt love from you. I felt love for our ancestors, my ancestors, your ancestors. I felt black and bold, wrapped up in the man that I wanted to make memoirs of our memories with. I felt our future flowing from fingers to one another. As we created light, as our lineage lingered about lavish in our love, it was at the water when we talked about blackness, my blackness, your blackness, and we washed away tears of pain from our faces. It was at the water when you and I dove deeper into areas unknown into one another. It was at the water I realized that I was really falling in love with you. It was at Auditorium Shores on a cool Sunday afternoon, and I started to see him in a different light, and it was really something special. Two black men, two black gay men, existing, being, falling for one another. Instead of staying at Auditorium Shores, I decided Mama needed a cocktail. Sometimes you just gotta do what makes you happy, and in that moment, a Grey Goose and cranberry with a lime and a lemon was gonna make me ecstatic. So we went to Rain, and while we were at Rain, he asked me a question. So tell me, what was your first time like going to a gay club? And it was easy, girl. Picture it, 2005. My older cousin Tanisha decides to take this baby gay to Elm and Pearl in Dallas. Okay, some of y'all been to Elm and Pearl. Let me find out you was there with me. Okay, hey sisters. Before the white people fucked over Bishop Arch, gentrified the grounds, and pushed out our provocateurs to make it a cool spot that lacked the magic of melanin, niggas lived there. Beautiful black faces resided in spaces that colonizers now call home. It was nigga heaven. A neighborhood built brick by black until colonizers realized how cheap the area was for it to be a hop, skip, and a jump from downtown. Then they moved the niggas out. But before that, my cousin lived there, with hand-me-down furniture on hand-me-down dreams. Items passed down from generation to generations like we pass down stories to one another. Furniture that seen and heard some things. Maybe some situationships, and hell, maybe even some semen. Furniture that at its core was free. My eyes, barely legal at the time, stare at her in amazement. I'm beside myself. She lived in a spot where the food, banging, the scene, popping. And I felt giddy because on this particular night I stayed with her, we were going to go to the club for the first time. I remember being in the living room and in my American Eagle polo with the collar pops. With some denim jean shorts, no doubt also from American Eagle, sipping a pina colada that I thought made me groan. And there is an abundance of cool water in the room as I sprayed my body down. Apparently, I wanted the club from 2 blocks to also smell me. There's an excitement as I ride to Elm and Pearl, even though the ride wasn't that memorable. I felt the magic of the moment. It had to be what my parents felt when they were like in juke joints and dive bars. I was there in nigga haven. The mask I wore slowly started to dissolve with each step I took as I saw the melanin in their movement, the freedom of us by ourselves, dancing our sorrows away. Rainbows of mahogany in front of me, men with bulges bigger than some booties. This is what nigga haven is. There is a show going on the main stage, and honey, the host was getting the girls together. Men were dancing with dollars in their muscles, in thongs that I had never seen before, while everyone was drunk off the pussy punch. What was in it, we still don't know. For a brief moment, I felt good. I felt safe. I felt like I was finally starting to see the version of me that had been in hiding. It was at rain, in the middle of the day, when we danced. We danced simply because we could. We danced simply because there was space for us to do so. We danced to make us happy because we were filled with joy. I realized as we danced, I couldn't continue to dim myself because others were too afraid of my light. I was big, and I couldn't continue to shrink myself because folks are too scared to be in the presence of a giant. And see, he understood that. In this moment, I allowed myself to release any hesitation because I love this man. Oops, sorry. Ooh, reverse. I liked this man. And apparently we looked good together because someone bought us some shots. I knew then that while he wasn't my boyfriend, we went together real bad. And I just wanted to cuff him. Do we have any lovers in the house tonight? I said, do we have any lovers in the house tonight? Do we have anybody that's getting cuffed tonight? Damn, y'all ain't getting cuffed? Oh, it's a whole bunch of single bitches in here. Okay. Okay, y'all better shoot y'all shot tonight, bitch. I feel like falling in love. Okay. I'm trying to make a nigga mine tonight. I want to kiss under the stars while lit by the full moon tonight. Making love to a nigga mouth tonight. But I will also take being drunk and kissing a nigga in the corner of the club after getting a little lit from various libations night. I'm talking, we walking down the street wrapped in one another with our hands hugging and random folks passing by telling us we look cute together type night. Like, even if we only just got together at the club night, I'm just trying to feel the softness of your lips. Do they speak the language of Leo? I want you to taste the Burt's Bees lavender that my friend Ron gave me because I never remember to carry my lip balm. Like, I want you to never forget the taste of the lavender from this night. I want the memory of my lips to never leave your mind because I spent so much time imprinting my magic and mayhem on your mouth night. Our lips learn to show love night. From short pecks to tongues penetrating, we make the moon blush and the stars turn away night. I want to wake up to the sun with our lips still making the scene about them night. I'm talking about a night where we talk about our lives, both past and future. Like, we not even swept off our feet because in the moment we met, it was like we was in space and gravity didn't exist night. I'm trying to take a nigga to the moon tonight, flying through spaceships that make our souls surrender to the sexiness of our union night. Like, nigga, I'm trying to jump rope on Jupiter night, sing on Saturn night, make memories on Mars night. I want to know why Pluto ain't a planet no more night. Like, I'm trying to see Ursa Major and Minor the same night. I'm just trying to make a nigga mine tonight because I promise I can guarantee when I kiss you, you ain't ever gonna forget it type night. else did something I shouldn't have, child. They was gonna be calling Carrie shutting down Juneteenth next year, girl. So let me keep it PG-13-ish. We'll get NC-17 in a minute. Okay. So, I don't know if you've ever felt like you don't know when the moment is to go in for a kiss. Some of y'all do? Some of y'all don't? Oh, because who said no? I heard you, girl. We see each other, bitch. We see each other. I'll be like, when we going in, girl? So this is what I felt during the entire day. Like, when do we go in for the kiss, girl? Like, your lips look good. I know mine look good, girl, because I got this lip balm, lavender, girl. Ready. Does anyone, like, pick lip balm flavors, depending on the person you're dating? Ooh. Get into it, girls. Get into it. That's some free game right there. Especially if a bitch tell you, like, oh, I love strawberries. Okay. Say motherfucking last, girl. It's very delicious. So, next thing I know, girl, it is 9 o'clock. And we have been at it since 8:30 a.m. Oh, y'all ain't had no plans, just vibes date? Some more free game, girl. But only with the girls you like, not, some random bitch that you're trying to, girl, call me so I can leave the date. Never that. So as I realized it was 9 o'clock, my stomach also remembered, bitch, we have not eaten. We've been snacking, like, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat again. So he was like, let's go to H-E-B. I'll get some stuff to cook you a little dinner, girl. A nigga that feed me too, girl? They're gonna cook for me? And he give me free Starbucks? Making sure my bacon is extra crispy like I like it? Girl, y'all would like him too. Oh, my man. So we walk into H-E-B. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm smelling good, girl. With this man that's gonna be my man real soon. After the first date, girl, it's gonna be my man. Like, no questions asked. He is mine, I am his. Well, maybe not the second part, but he is mine. Gotta keep our options open, And so as we walking in, laughing, vibing, I look up. My motherfucking ex. It's funny how the brain works. Check it. I'm in H-E-B, running in to get some champagne for the mimosas my girls and I are going to drink to celebrate. Hair cut, nails did, fit immaculate, lips juicy. My Versace Dylan Blue is understanding the assignment and getting the job done. I wander over to aisle 9 or some shit like that, deciding to smell the candles. And all of a sudden, an oat and honey fragrance suffocates my sense of smell. I'm telling y'all, that shit rock bottomed me. Had my nose in a stone cold stunner. And I'm transported to the past where it's me and you in the park near Barton Springs and Lamar. It has to be close to midnight and the moon is in its full glow. The night is cooler and I feel you lean into me. You were always cold, it seems. So I wrap you in my arms. This is our special place, overlooking the lights of Lake Austin and downtown. Another memory. I'm in the bathroom with you, and we're in your tub, and my head lays down on your chest while I caress the side of your leg. You kiss the top of my head and tell me that you love me. I grab your hand, raising it to my lips and kiss it, smelling the oat and honey soap that we'd used earlier. A soap that you clowned me for when I picked it up from some freebies doing South by Southwest. It's funny how the brain works. It's been 368 days since our breakup, 8,832 hours, 529,920 minutes, and in an instant, memories of our memoir come running back into my mind. In an HEB hour while I'm grabbing champagne for the mimosas my girls and I are gonna drink to celebrate. I don't know if this grief is because I miss you or if I just miss the company. But before I can even reconcile my feelings, I hear a voice. You remember it too, huh? And there we are, no longer in your bathroom or by the lake, but what seems to be aisle 9 in an HEB, and I can't help but notice how you look. Hair cut, nails trimmed, fit immaculate, lips kinda juicy, and your Dolce & Gabbana light blue is understanding the assignment and is getting the job done. I don't think time stopped, but for a moment my heart did. It's you and me, and even though it's been 386 days, 8,832 hours, 529,920 minutes, it feels just like yesterday that I was with you. Now, I just want to explain a little bit. It's not that I was in love with my ex. I think we all, or some of us, have moments to where we have an ex that we really, really fuck with. And in this moment, I felt confused, honestly. We had reconciled and we were good, but it's like this nigga keeps popping up at the most inopportune times. And then these memories of us come back, and it's like I fucked with you so hard, and now we barely even speak. And it's difficult to reconcile at times. And instead of staying in the HEB, he told me that we could leave. He would order us something. He could cook another night for me. Now, I did get mad at the fact that my ex was there because I was like, bitch, I wanted to taste his food. Like, can the bitch cook? You know, can he season well? What seasonings do he have? You know, like, what's in his counter, you know? These are important questions. If you only have salt and pepper, girl, what are we doing? And that's no shade to salt and pepper. We love them, you know? But, girl, you ain't got nothing else? No Lowry's at all, girl? Something. So we head to his place. And I knew the liquor was creeping in, girl. And at this point, the question started to go a little left. And next thing I know, as we're walking into his place, he sits his keys on the counter, his wallet. You know, I'm checking the space out too, you know. Is it clean? He got furniture and shit. You know, I'll tell you the story about how I went to somebody's house and they had no furniture. No shade to people that don't have furniture, but girl, you invited me over. Like, this did not have to happen. And as he did that, he asked me, what's your favorite body part? Girl, you know a bitch had an answer. Oh. We gonna edit that out in post. My dick is heavenly. Like, it was molded and it was made and molded by God to please. And I know some of you may say it's sacrilegious, but I promise you my dick is a deity that makes dimes bow down. My dick is like Folgers. The best part of waking up is my dick getting ready to fuck. My dick is dynamite. It's the thickness for me. It's that Captain America dick. I can do this all day dick. My dick saves dynasties. Some might call it the Guardian of the Galaxy. And please understand, it's definitely something to marvel at. Others appreciate the D because it's much like Duracell and keeps going and going and going and going. And with every stroke, I promise to slowly soothe your spirit. I want to have your tongue speak in tongues. This dick gonna have you singing spirituals that only your soul can conjure. I wanna beat the pain out that little pretty pussy of yours. Slowly stroke that hole until a small tear runs down your face. I'm trying to give you back spasms with your orgasms. Nigga, I wanna beat the brakes off that booty. Like, have your cheeks clapping like the first lady in church on the day that the choir is choiring. Call me Magic Mike, or better yet, call me Houdini, because I'm about to make this thick 8.5 disappear into that heavenly hole of yours. Now you see me, now you don't type dick. And best believe we doing the sequel the same night. Now, I ain't the biggest, but I break backs. Ain't the thickest, but I can make your toes tingle on a regular basis. They call me Dr. Feel Good, also known as Pastor Feel Great. Some niggas even call me Mr. Plumber because they know I'm about to pipe them down. This dick is spiritual. I mean, they call me the professor of pleasure. And trust, I love giving my students a D. I fuck fairy tales and fantasies out of fuck boys. Make niggas call out Jesus Christoph because they brain so fucked up from getting fucked up they can't remember Jesus Christ. My ass is astronomical, yes. I mean, it's out of this world, the pussy is banging. But it's the dick that be having bitches quoting MLK and daring them to dream. It's the dick that be having niggas lose their morals, reminding they spine of positions they see in flicks that they jack off to. My dick whispers to the body, the inner crevices of your booty, speaks to your pussy in ways that you didn't even know were possible. I French kissed that hole with the head alone. My dick can read your mind and fuck your memories out of you and the other niggas that you've been with. A reminder, this dick is dynamite. Y'all like, bitch, what happened? What happened next? He was sucking your dick from the front, the back, side to side? Did he play with it, touch it? No, because I'm a lady. But he was not ready for that answer. However, he did tell me he was intrigued to meet Mr. D. Professor D, as some called him. But he wanted to wait on me. And I never had that. Someone who wanted to put my feelings before their own, in a romantic sense. He was comfortable with taking our time. Very much so Janet Jackson, Let's Way the Wild Tease. You see, before I was fucking around with niggas that didn't deserve me. And this time I felt like I was fucking with someone who was like, That's a man, Mari. Oh, girl. Oh. And so finally, as he's ordering our DoorDash, I said, it's time for me to ask questions around here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Time for me to ask these questions around here. Your mama know about you? I asked. And he paused, unsure of the question, confused at the bluntness, pondering where I was going with this. His face scrunched as creases of confusion found his forehead. He answered, "What you mean?" "Yeah," he responded. No doubt he didn't understand the gravity of my question. Me, Butch Queen, who snaps in Z formation, bats eyes like a girl, switches with hips like his mama, gets glitter nails like his nieces, with foundation of Fenty like his auntie. So I asked him again, "Nah, nigga, do they know about you?" He stared at me, trying to understand the unspoken questions that lingered in the air from me to him, so I continued. Does she know I can love her son in ways that she can never understand? Even though we understand you in ways you will never know. Worry of your protection from the world in lockstep. But it's my arms that you run to. When the world berates you as a black man, I see your softness. The softness that she hasn't seen since your youth. Your family may know you are gay, but do they know how gay their son, brother, nephew, uncle really is? Do they see you, all of you? And in turn, will they ever be able to love and see us? I can see the thoughts turn like second sands on the clock, tick-tock. He hugged me, arms wrapped around me, my protector, my love. See, I told him, when you get rejected your entire life for your existence, you don't want to go through that again. The idea of someone loving you in depths that you need in ways you deserve, that is on my agenda. I want a love that's easy, attainable, real, a love that's secure and affirms me for me. And in that moment, we spoke silently. His arms wrapped around me like a pretzel from Auntie Anne's, affirming me of my safety. With him, we spoke with language from our past lives, protected by ancestors and elders that we never met but could feel. Our love was a renaissance, a rebirth, a renewal of our past lives as ancestral energy surged between us. You good around them, but you better around me, he told me. It felt like for a moment we connected to future versions of self while standing in the presence of his kitchen. Is this what a revival feels like? With angels singing hymns in our hearts, the elders jumping in cloud-covered pews, you stare at me and make me feel naked. You start swaying and our bodies find a natural groove to the rhythm that only our spirits seem to know the beat to. You, the captain of the ship of my soul, I be mind-fucked by the magnitude of your brilliance. I mean, that brilliance beats my pussy into submission and makes me feel like our spirits just had sex, like I levitate while lazily languishing in our legacy on the Saturday mornings with you. Dirty talk is discussions of how our collective trauma Our dirty talk is discussions on our collective trauma and how we healed from generations of hurt. Do you know how sexy it is for a man to admit that he went to therapy and took his time to get his shit back on track? I'd never experienced that. You showed me that pain isn't the root of pleasure, it's love. I feel heaven in your eyes. I taste stars in your touch. I don't know what gravity is around you. It's like God herself drew the picture-perfect scene from my lips to find your lips. Like she gave you the roadmap to me, and for the first time I see safety. Angels play in celebration, not at our joy, but at our justice. Because Cupid saw the scales, and since these two spirits are sworn soulmates, our lives deserve to be liberated by love. You feel like Saturday mornings, playing Stevie Wonder songs in the key of life, cleaning the house, cooking breakfast, getting our grocery shopping done, and lighting candles all before the clock strikes noon type of love. Do you know how good that feeling is to go to Sunday Funday with mimosas and come back and you ready for Monday with your man? I am enamored with your energy. I want to get high with you because this got to be what heaven feels like. I love you in ways that were only possible in my dreams. You are a dream. You are my dream. My mama know about you, I heard you say, as our bodies swirl in your kitchen. She know about this fine-ass pimp dude from Oak Cliff that got a pretty pussy and a big dick that got a little ego because he a Leo and he been through some shit so he guarded and secretive. Hell yeah, she know about you. But more than that, my family knows about us. And at the end of the day, that's all that fucking matters. Thank you. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the story tonight. Can we get the house lights up real quick? I want to see everyone. For this last piece. Oh my gosh, y'all look so beautiful. Hi. Hey, everybody. Y'all cute. Y'all real cute. I think I want to tell you one more poem about how the night ended, if that's okay. So we ate our DoorDash. We're reviving with one another. simply enjoying the conversation. And baby, next thing I know, 2 a.m. had crept up and saw me. And I said, baby, I gotta go home. Not baby to him, but you know, in my mind, baby. Because it was too early to call him baby. I didn't even know that man like that. But he was my baby, if you understand what I mean. Not my man, but he was my man. I had a good time with him. Until next time, I said, as I called my Uber. And you know, I didn't want to leave, honestly. And I'm thinking maybe instead of telling you what happened, I could simply show you. Thank y'all so much for having me tonight. Thank you to my man. It's been an honor to be with y'all tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the show.
One thing we did this year to begin healing for our community is our first ever Elevation Dinner, presented as Elevation Dinner, a community gathering. A dinner party that is used to uplift the spirits of Black queer artists and use our creative lineage to bring out all of our community. Join us for an evening of joy, nourishment, and deepening of community bonds. We're gonna gather around the table. It's gonna be a farm-style table dinner party here at Beer, Bird, Brewing, and private event space. Also, shout out to them for holding space for us. The dinner menu is gonna be epic. It's gonna be a celebration of Black culinary traditions that are gonna be infused with love, care, and non-psychoactive herbal medicine. The ingredients will be sourced from local farmers, so you don't even have to worry about it being shipped from anywhere. All local. We will open the dinner with a moment of prayer, ancestral reverence, and celebration of Black queer artists from our creative lineage using our prayer altar. Prayer for dinner will start at 5 p.m. so you cannot be late. Following the dinner, we're going to have an evening of performances from Black LGBTQIA artists throughout the evening. I can't wait to see y'all there. As always, I hope you continue to join us for an artistic celebration and come enjoy photography, painting, theater, performances, poetry, and more. We hope to spark community conversations about what it means to claim and move throughout and inhabit space as a Black person living in Austin.